Hi there, folks, and welcome to the Word Solutions for this week's The Daily Rigour 236. Okay, so the first story is a wee bit tongue-in-cheek, but I'm sorry, I couldn't resist it. A 32-year-old man was invited for his COVID-19 vaccine due to the fact that the NHS had his recorded height as 6.2 centimetres rather than 6 foot 2 inches, which was his correct height. Of course, nobody could have thought that that was true. I think it was more an automated service. The reason why this is so ridiculous is that the shortest human adult that's ever lived, that's ever been documented, actually had a height of 54.64 centimetres, which is a lot taller than that. Anyway, Chandra was the shortest human adult ever documented. So what would his height have been in millimetres? Well, first things first, there's 10 millimetres in every centimetre. There's obviously going to be more millimetres than there are centimetres because it's a smaller unit. So we need to take the centimetres and multiply by 10. So moving everything up one place value, tens would become hundreds, units would become tens, tenths would become units, and hundreds would become tenths. That would give us 546.4 millimetres. Now to change his height into metres, there are 100 centimetres in every metre. So there's going to be less metres than there are centimetres because it's a bigger unit. So what we need to do here is we need to divide by 100. So we would move everything down two place values. So tens would become units, then tenths. So that's going to give us a height of 0.5464 metres. So needless to say, the man never actually got offered the vaccine when this error was corrected. So continuing with COVID, I know I'm sure we'll hear enough about that in the news and every waking hour, and we're really fed up from not being at school just now, but we're going to continue with it. So travellers now upon return to the UK have to spend 10 days in government sanctioned hotels for quarantine. So an adult has to pay £1,750. So how much would Mr. and Mrs. Smith and their three children have to pay in total? Well, Mr. Smith is an adult, or at least we hope he is, so 1,750. So Mrs. Smith is an extra adult, so she's going to be 650. Their eldest child is over 12, so they're going to be another 650. The 11-year-old is between 5 and 12, so that's going to be 325. And their youngest child is under 5, so there's going to be no charge. What a bargain. So that comes to £3,375, which would probably be the cost of a 2-week all-inclusive holiday on the moon. So I think that's travellers well and truly priced out of travelling abroad just now. So a further reminder that we need to stay at home and stay safe, folks. So on to our business story. So 50-year anniversary of the switch to the decimalised money system. So before the 15th of February 1971, a pound was made up of 20 shillings, and shillings were equivalent to 12 pence. So how many pennies were in a pound in this old system? Well, there was 12 pennies that made up a shilling, and 20 shillings made up a pound. So we need to have 20 lots of these 12 pennies. And of course 12 times 20 gives us an answer of 240 pence in an old pound. Maybe we can see already why this system is more confusing than the one we have now. Although ironically the new system confused a lot of people on the changeover. So how many pennies are in a pound in our current system? Well, of course that's just going to be 100 pence in a current pound. And because it's all multiples of 10, it makes related calculations an awful lot easier. So what you're asked to do now is you're asked to state the least amount of coins in old money based on only shillings and pennies to pay for the following items below. And remember, D is how they indicated pennies before. Now these prices are genuine from 1970, from decimal day. I did actually research these. So 250 grams of butter, 24 pennies. So the most coins you could obviously use are 24 pennies, but we're trying to get the least number of coins we can use. So could we use any shillings? Well, a shilling is the equivalent of 12 pence. So you could use a shilling to pay for the butter. That's 12 pence so far. We need to make it to 24 pence. So if we add another shilling, that would be 12 and 12 is 24. So the least amount of coins for the butter is 2 shillings. So now for the eggs, that's 40 pence. So again, because that's more than 12, we can use a shilling. We can use another shilling because that's 24. And we can use another shilling because that's 36. So to make it up to 40, to make 36 up to 40, we need to have 4 pennies, and that would make it to 40 pence in total. So for the second one, the least amount of coins we could use to pay for the items would have been 7, 3 shillings and 4 pennies. So for the lamb, 60 pence. So a shilling is 12, another shilling's 24, another shilling's 36, another shilling's 48. But then another shilling takes you exactly to 60 pence. So for lamb, you could have paid for it with 5 shillings. So for petrol, 74 pence a gallon. So again, we've already seen that 5 shillings is 60 pence. So we could add those 5 shillings straight away. So could we add another 12 on and not get to 74? Yes, we could, because that would take us to 72. And then we just need 2 pennies at the end there. So for petrol, we needed 6 shillings and 2 pennies. So quite an interesting wee history lesson there, or so I thought. Well done if you get any of those questions right. Okay, so now it's on to the exciting science story of the week. So the Perseverance rover successfully landed on Mars. So 470-kilometre journey. So first of all, we're asked how many days did the Perseverance rover take to travel to Mars. So it left Earth on the 20th of July and it arrived on the 18th of February. So July's got 31 days, so there's 11 days left in July. So there's 31 days in August. There's 30 days in September. There's 31 in October. There's 30 in November. There's 31 in December. There's 31 in January, and then we're going to the 18th day in February. So if we add all them up, we get 213 days, so quite a long time, round about 7 months. So how many hours is this? Well, there's 24 hours in each day, so we need to multiply 213 by 24 to get 5,112 hours. So for the average speed, we need to use speed as distance divided by time. And to get our answer in kilometres per hour, then we need to have the distance in kilometres, which is 470 million, which is 470 and another 6 zeros. We need to divide by the time in hours, which is 5,112. And if we put that into our calculator and round to one decimal place, we get an average speed of 91,940.5. And because the distance was in kilometres and the time was in hours, then our speed will be in kilometres per hour. So hopefully no speeding points were accumulated there. Anyway, folks, that was our word solutions. We hope you enjoyed solving these problems. Stay tuned for next week's edition when we're going to be looking at more stories from the news of the week and the numbers behind them. But in the meantime, thanks for watching and bye for now.